And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, I'd like to invite Dr. Farzana Al-Maraghi, Director of Scientific Research, Secretary General of the Higher Education Council, to speak to us about the Bahrain National Research Strategy. Please take the floor.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to your annual research forum. Actually, first, when Dr. Dalia contacted me to invite me for the forum, I immediately said yes, for many reasons. Not because I graduated from Ahliya, but because we do this with almost all universities. I visited some other universities to share with them our thoughts and our vision and what we are looking for about research in Bahrain. You know, research cannot be done by us alone sitting in our offices. Research is done in the universities mainly. So it's very important for us to share every single objective that we want to achieve with universities, not only with the presidents, with the faculty as well. So I've been to AMA, RUW, ASU, Gulf University, and this is Ahliya now. So thank you very much. And thanks for your words, Dr. Mansour. It was really good to hear the achievements of Ahliya as well as with the presentation of Dr. Dalia. Today I will share with you the National Research Strategy. It is a national strategy. I know that at Ahliya you have your own strategy and each department may have one, but it's always good to work together under the same umbrella and towards the same vision. So today I'll go through. It's fine, I'll do it from here. So I'll go through some research statistics general, and then we'll see how Bahrain 2030 vision led to the higher education strategy and to the research strategy. And we'll focus on the research strategy today. I'll share with you the vision, the objectives, and the KPIs, and some of the projects and priorities of research in Bahrain. First of all, let's see the researchers per million inhabitants in the world. So in North America and Western Europe, there are almost 4,000. In Central and Eastern Europe, 2,070, and in East Asia, it's 1,385. The world average is 1,000 per million. Central Asia, 593. Latin America, it's fine then. Latin America and the Caribbean, 435. Arabs, 410, and the rest. So can you guess what in Bahrain? What is the number of researchers per million? Any guess? Yes. So what is the number of researchers per million? So the world average is 1,000. Arabs average is 410. So can you guess Bahrain? 500? 600? 5? 100? 1,000? Oh, I wish that. We are below Arabs average, not below world average, below Arabs. Below Arab average, 270. 270 researchers per million, because actually we are 1,000,000.3. This is as the latest statistics we have about researchers in Bahrain, and we had 369, so it will make 270 per million. Anyway, so that's why we have a strategy. Researchers, it doesn't matter. Researchers should be, universities should be international staff, so it's fine. So if you will count Bahrainis, then it will be maybe 100. Okay, so this graph summarizes the figures we talked about. The lighter colors, the more researchers per million. So as you see, Canada, US, and West Europe, and Russia are the most number of researchers. So which countries host the greatest number of researchers? Can you guess which country? No, the second. Yes, China. China is the first. 27% of the researchers in the world came from China. So it's almost 30, more than a quarter. Then United States, Japan, and so on. So shares of world R&D expenditure. by region. So among all the expenditure on research in the world, North America and Western Europe almost 50%. Half of the expenditure on research comes from this part of the world. And almost the remaining half comes from East Asia. So can you see it's almost 88% of the expenditure on research comes from these two areas. So all the remaining part of the world spend 12%. Okay, so for the Arab world, it's 1%. So our share in the whole expenditure on research in the world is 1%. Can you guess what is it for Bahrain? Yeah, of course. Yes, it's 0.04. Okay, so gross domestic expenditure on R&D. It's this graph again shows where the most expenditure does happen. So, for example, for Japan, it's 3.4% out of their GDP spent on the R&D. In the United States, 2.8, Arab states 0.3, Bahrain 0.04. So we spend 0.04% of the GDP on research and development. So that's why our strategy aims to increase this to 1%. So we are realistic. We don't want to be just like Japan, 3.4. It's difficult. So we wanted to reach 1%. So because Arab's expenditure is very low, the Arab League Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization produced this piece of strategy 2 years ago to enhance the research and innovation in the Arab world. And it's online, you can find it. So going to our vision, 2030 vision, there is a statement says that we want Bahrain as a first, we want in Bahrain, first-rate education system enables all Bahrainis to fulfill their ambitions. That's why the HEC worked to put together a higher education strategy. Another statement from the vision says that we want to encourage R&D in the universities to create a platform for knowledge-based economy, to transfer from oil-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. So that's why we created a national research strategy. So we'll go very briefly on the higher education strategy, and then we'll go in details for the research strategy. The vision is to position Bahrain as a regional hub for quality higher education, producing graduates with the skills, knowledge, and behavior required to succeed in the global knowledge economy while contributing to the sustainable and competitive growth of Bahrain. So this is the vision. There are high level system objectives. We want higher education ecosystem that attracts people from outside Bahrain. Students should meet the demand of industry and employers, maintain high quality through competition and regularity system, integrative participation of all key stakeholders, and strategic engagement in higher education internationalization. The strategy, the higher education strategy, have 7 themes, which are the quality for impact, skills for the future, strategic access, Bahrain as the first choice for higher education, EdTech Bahrain, Startup Bahrain, and research. So Bahrain's national research strategy. So it was launched in 2014 until 2024. 5 years ago, we launched the university, and we've been working on the achievement of some of the objectives, and still we have a few years to see the final results. So research, and it's important for Bahrain. I think Dr. Mansour already covered the importance of research in Bahrain, and we all agree that it's important for everyone and for Bahrain. Research creates new knowledge that contributes to the development of technology. This will be the speech of Amin Al-Hawaj later on. The technology development in turns underlies much innovation, productivity growth, and economic growth. And that's why the economic vision said we need R&D that will help to build a knowledge-based economy. Essential component for successful knowledge-based economy, and critical to provide solutions for Bahrain's need, specifically for Bahrain need. And unique local industrial business problems will be solved by research. So sustainability, as an example of an area that requires local as well as global research into environment, energy, and economics. So no doubt we need research in Bahrain. So what's our vision? The vision is Bahrain will excel in key fields of research. So not in everything. There are specific fields that we can work on of importance to the kingdom's economy and social welfare, and possesses the broad research capacity needed to access and use global knowledge. So this is the vision. We have 5 strategic objectives. First, we want to establish a national research governance infrastructure, then strengthen the university research capacity, strengthen the integration between the higher education institutions and the international research institutions, improve the public awareness. We talked about earlier today, this morning. Improve the public awareness and understanding of research and innovation. And finally, most important, we have to address the national research priorities. So we'll go quickly through the KPIs and projects priorities we've been working on for each objective. The first objective, we welcome Professor Abdullah Al-Hawaj. Alaykum assalam. So for the first objective, establish a national research governance. There are several KPIs. One of them is we need to increase the national R&D expenditure, and we want to increase the number of properties equipped research labs conducting research. We have done several priorities, and we've been working on several things. We created a higher education database that covers that collects all the data for higher education in Bahrain. And similarly, we've worked on a database for research. So we are annually gathering the data. I think we're working with the HR and the registration here in the university, and they're submitting all the time. Research budget was increased. It was 3% out of the net income, and now it's 3% out of the total income for the private universities. Research regulation was released in 2017, October 2017. And we've been working with all universities. Ahliya is one of them, and Ahliya in all the articles was green. Thank you very much for implementing the research regulation. We are working on a regulation for the postgraduate studies. It's almost at the final stage and will be published soon. So many meetings and arrangements with the research deans in the higher education institutions. There are several meetings to arrange to implement some of the projects and priorities which are intended to. Next week we have one. On Sunday we have one. And so this is the one that will start next week. We are inviting the AAAS, American Association for the Advancement of Science, to come to Bahrain. 3 experts are coming. We'll talk about so many important topics. On the first day, there will be a seminar for all the deans and of research in Bahrain. And then for the next 3 days, there will be one-to-one meeting for each university, 1 hour allocated, to discuss and see how we can improve the policies, whatever is governing the research in the university, to be in line with the best practice. So it will be kind of free consultation, which would help to improve the practices inside the universities on research. So next week, inshallah, we'll see you, Doctor. The second objective is strengthening university research capacity. There are a number of KPIs. We want to increase the number of researchers, for example, increase the share of students in the STEM specialties, journal publications, output, number of patents and industrial designs. Yes. Improvement in ranking of Bahrain universities, number of enterprises with R&D departments. So these are KPIs for this objective. We've been working on several workshops and training programs for the researchers in Bahrain. We invited participation from all universities. I'm sure you can spot a few from Ahliya here. Yes. So these are several training programs that have been conducted to enhance the research capacity in Bahrain, and more are coming in the future, inshallah. I think next academic year, starting September, we'll have one, and we'll invite Ahliya, of course, to participate. So the third one is strengthening the integration between the higher education institutions in Bahrain and international research institutions. We have several KPIs: number of collaboration research, number of joint research, number of research projects funded by regional and international resources, and so on. So we are working with different parties from the UK, US, and with the industry, and we're preparing for a project with the British Embassy as well. Hopefully it will take place next year, and again, Ahliya will be invited for that. Fourth is improve public awareness and understanding of research and innovation. When we put this strategy together, we invited the Stanford Research Institute to Bahrain to do the scoping and the SWOT analysis to build the research strategy accordingly. They noticed that the culture of research needs improvement, the awareness of research. So that's why this sits as an objective. So one of the KPIs is that we want to improve the public understanding of science as measured in international surveys. We want to improve the outstanding research scientists and students as recognized in the and awarded at the highest level. And conventional and social media content and traffic matrices. So these are all KPIs to measure the success of achievement of this objective. So several initiatives were done. Here are some different universities we've visited to share and share knowledge and build awareness about the research strategy. STEM education, also we're working on a project. For STEM, we can't work with universities. We have to work earlier, because if we want students to go to STEM specializations, we can't go. It's too late. So we have to build that from the beginning. There are a few things going on with the British Council for the intermediate schools, but we are working on a program that will be implemented starting next academic year. Yes. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And people now say STEAM, adding arts, because nothing will go without arts. So, but because the proportion of STEM students is very low, we have most of our students in business administration and law, more than 60%. So this needed a specific objective to work on to enhance this field. So we're working with Clever Play, if you know them. We will have a full semester workshops and programs. We have a specific curriculum to enhance the understanding and the attitude towards these specializations for secondary school students. So we took the first level because they are in the unified track before they decide. So it is the best time, the first level at the secondary school in Bahrain. So we have 8 schools for the next year, 2 from each governorate. We will start as pilot, and we will see the effectiveness of this program, pre and post testing their attitudes toward these specializations. We want a shift. We want, first they come, everyone is scared from mathematics. When I say I'm a mathematician, they say, go away. So they're afraid of that. They think it's undoable. They think it's difficult. So we want to change this attitude. There are a lot of activities. They will work on robotics, coding, mathematics, logic, so many things. There is a specific curriculum for that. So we are hoping to share with you the results of that, inshallah. And there are so again, to improve the public awareness, we are working together, and it's almost in the final draft to publish let's say a simple manual for students at the secondary school to do research. We want the very basics, and we'll have lectures in the schools to help them to do research themselves, only the basics for research. And then for the higher education institutions, we've been working again in this with all the universities. For the postgraduate students, we know that they know what's research, what's the research methodology. There is a specific course for that. But the problem with the bachelor degree, the undergraduate courses, not every single university teach research methodology at the undergraduate level. So that's why we have to work. We did this survey to see exactly where is the gap and to try to do something with it. Also, there are so many press releases and articles and everything. So the last one, address national research priorities. The KPIs, we need resources available for scientists' research in the priority areas, improvement in the quality of performed scientific research, number of high qualified motivated research, number of Bahraini scientists who studies or conduct research in the priority areas, and so on. So we have several initiatives. One of them is the highlight of Dr. Mansour in his speech this morning when he said, you have to approach Babco and Alba and see what are their problems and try to solve them in your researches. We are doing a survey, national survey, to come up with a list, let's say a menu for all the universities to pick from. So we are working on that. It will be national. The letters will go from the minister himself to all the organizations in Bahrain, whether it is universities, ministries, semi-government entities, enterprises, banks, or wherever it is. I think we have more than 60 organizations to contact to see what are exactly their problems, whether it is organizational thing, or it's technical thing, or it's Babco, or it's Battleco, or whatever it is. So we will come up with the list of national priorities and research, and we'll share it with you. So as much as you do your research out of this list, then you will be addressing the national research priorities. So the three highest priorities in Bahrain, can you guess what is the first one? Research priorities. And notice that this was built as a quick win. So we wanted to see what is a quick win for Bahrain in 10 years. We want to excel in which field? Quick win. Energy is not a quick win because it needs a lot of labs and so many things. So Islamic banking and finance, it's a quick win because there are so many strength areas in Bahrain in this field, so we can do something in this area. Next is health services and public health, and then information system, ITC. And there are, sorry? Yes. You have focus group, I've seen, yes. So there are some other areas as well, education services, petrochemical industry. Yesterday, the Minister of Oil said, why we don't have specializations in petroleum in Bahrain? Yes, a question, why we don't have this? So social sciences, environment, marine sciences, urban planning, tourism, art and design, and so on. Thank you very much.